Series on product development with Node.js. In this video, we are going to set up a bit of basic CRUD so that we can at least add some data for our flights, for our bookings and users, etc. Right. So without any further delay, let's just start. So as you can see, the architecture that we have set up is the MVC architecture. We have our models set up in the place. We have controllers. We are not having views because this is a backend API. Now, the thing is, we need to create some new controllers where we'll be actually like, what is controller? Controller is going to be the first line of defense whenever a new request is going to come up, right? So, but we don't put a lot of model logic and business logic inside controllers. It's a theory that we should not make controllers very fat, right? So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to add one more layer that is going to be the service layer, right? That is going to be the service layer. Let's put it inside source. Okay, so this service is going to actually uh, get our business logic and integrate that with the models, and from the controllers we can just call these services. This will also help us to, like, if you want to at later stage want to add some unit test or something, then we can just separately add unit test for services, right? So let's see what our models. For user, we can just use the sign up API for having some new users. So I'm not putting that thing there. For airline and flight, we need to have the first set of services. So I would say let's make a new file, flight service.js. Okay, this is going to be flight service.js. So let's see what we can have. First of all, we need to get the flight model. So flight is equals to require models slash flight. Okay, now we have the flight model. Okay, now we are going to write a set of functions. So first function that we are going to write is, let's say, const add flight, right? We are going to have this function add flight. Then we can say uh, or let's say create flight. Let's keep more like this, update flight, and then we can have destroy flight, get flight. Okay, something like this. And we can have one more function, const get all flights, so that we can see all flights data, like whatever we have stored in our DB, we can get all the flights. Something like this can be there. And at last we'll do module.exports. Can export all of these functions. So create flight, update flight, destroy flight, sorry, my bad, destroy flight, get flight, get all flights. Okay, get all flight. We are going to export all of these modules. Okay, first of all, now to create a flight, we are going to get some data, right? We are going to get some data from the user at the end user, and then we are going to create a new flight. So what we can say is try. We'll write good piece of code so that no exceptions are there. So we'll say console.log error, right? We'll catch the error like this. And now when we have to create a new flight, we'll say const new flight is equals to, let's see what are the details about a flight that we need to have. Okay, let's split the screen a bit. So let's see. So for flight, we need to have the departure airport, arrival airport, right? So we need to get this departure airport, sorry. So this is the departure airport that we need to have, right? And we can say data dot departure airport. Then we need to have the arrival airport is data dot arrival airport, right? This data is going to be coming up from the controller. I believe everybody knows about that. Duration is going to be data dot duration, and what corresponding airline it is going to be associated to, we can have that data as well. For the timing, let's keep flight date first. Flight date as data dot flight date and departure time. Departure time as data dot departure time. Arrival time as data dot arrival time. Then flight number as data dot flight number. Price as data dot price. Okay, we should not get the boarding gate, because boarding gate, generally the data about boarding gate updates later. So let's say in update flight, maybe we want to update some parameter, so then we can use the boarding gate then and there. Okay, cool. Now let's see. So now what we have is we are left with the airline data, right? We are just left with the airline data. So what we can say is airline is going to get data dot airline. Okay, now just think about it. What data should we put inside data dot airline so that we can have this airline data feed it? Because we need to get either the airline ID, that is something that we need to have. So from data we should get airline ID, and that we should feed inside airline so that it can refer to the corresponding airline. That is something that we need to take care about. Okay, now as soon as we have it, this new flight data that we have created, now what we can say is const response is equals to await new, I would say, flight, and I will pass let's say this new flight data, right, dot save, and we can return response. Now in order to get this, we need to also make this function asynchronous, right? Let's close it out. So this is how we can get this new flight. Or you can also say flight dot create, and inside the create you can I would say return the corresponding flight, right? So this is going to be the corresponding model function for creating a new flight. Now first of all, I would highly recommend you guys to try a similar pattern to fill up the rest of the CRUD functions, right? In the further upcoming videos, we are going to add up more functionality to this CRUD, and we will see how we can use this create flight function, and we will see this function in action, and also add in new codes to the rest of the functions. That being said, let's just wrap it up here. We are going to meet soon in the next session. Till then, take care guys, bye bye, and thank you.